Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Today's video is sponsored by DistroKid. For those unfamiliar, DistroKid is a service that musicians use to get their music into Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, all the online stores and streaming services. It's personally my favorite platform that does this because they offer a lot of really cool features that a lot of the competitors don't. For example, they have this thing called Hyperfollow, where it allows you to send a Spotify pre-save link to an unreleased song out to all of your fans early. So they click on it, they pre-save it, and then right when the song's released, it shows up in their Spotify library. So yeah, I mean, they just have a bunch of really cool features like this. I would really highly recommend looking into it if you're an independent artist and you're looking to put out some music. Follow the link in the description of the video, and you'll receive a discount on your first year's fee. Plus, you'll support Chad's Home all at once, so it's a win-win. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in. And without further ado, here is my interview with Jay Wile. Enjoy. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Chad's Home. Hope you're all doing well out there. I'm doing good. Just hanging out, drinking some Topo Chico as always. And today's a very special day because I'm joined by an artist, an incredible artist all the way from Austin, Texas, who just makes the coolest music, period. And his name is Jay Wile. Thank you, Jay, so much for being here, man.
Having me, Chad. I appreciate it, man.
Of course, of course. And a quick shout out to Topo Chico because you got one on your end. So virtual cheers. But yeah, man, I found you on Spotify like I don't know a few months back, and it just immediately fell in love and reached out. So just thank you again so much.
Man, that's great. Whenever people say that where they found the music, like whether on Spotify or wherever, it's amazing that like I was just making music here. So like I'm
Right.
proud to send this up. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's nuts. Your Spotify has just gone like crazy.
Yeah,
Like over 150,000 monthly and just like millions of streams. It's like it's amazing. So well deserved too.
appreciate it. Thanks. Thanks so
Of
much.
course. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to start in on just kind of like your origins of your musical journey and specifically your vocal journey because I just love your voice. And so, were you always just a great singer? Like, did you know you were a great singer from like a kid or what?
Not at all, man. I was in like church choir growing up. It was like the kids choir, so like no one knew who could actually sing. So like I
Uh,
did a couple years, but like it wasn't until I was freshman or so in high school that started like taking it seriously. I was in a group of my friends and we are all rapping and I grew up listening to Drake and Lil Wayne and like
yeah, yeah,
it was on the radio at the time. So like I always want to be like them. So like my hair out, had dreads back then in high school as well, and like
yeah.
I rap like him. But I realized like everyone would come over to my house to record, and it's like my parents like. I especially grew up in a very Christian home, so it's like I couldn't cuss, I couldn't talk about the things Lil Wayne talked about. So
Right, right.
looking around, my friends were just progressing right along. I was like, well, I can't rap, so what else can I do? Because like I had all the equipment, I was in recording every once. Like I didn't want to be left out and just end up being an engineer, or I didn't even know what that was at the time. But like, so I started learning how to sing, start practicing, just like listening to like John Legend, listening to like John Mayer and Frank Ocean, just like listen to their songs and just like study how
Wow.
and like figured out what I wanted to do. So
Wow. Dang. Okay, cool. So you like almost fell
I
into singing as like a that was like your last resort kind of thing.
wanted to become musical, but it's like, what was it? So
Wow, that's so cool. That's
yeah,
so cool. Yeah, I mean, thank you. I mean, I'm glad that you grew up in that household where you were forced to sing because now, because your voice is just a gift. So thank you. But was Jay Wile your first project then, or like back in high school, were you doing stuff with your friends, or?
so we did a project together, and then I started doing my own solo stuff shortly after. I was like, oh, let me just figure out how to sing. So I did things under different monikers. Wiley E was my name back in high school. So I
Nice.
have, there's actually this coming project is my 10th one total.
Oh wow.
We've been doing it for a little bit now. So
Yeah.
all I felt was the very first time it was like, here I'm making intentional steps. Like I'm going to create music, produce it, and figure out the process to release it publicly instead of like making it for my friends and like friends of friends.
Right, 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 right. Got it. And you play guitar too, right? And you play like a few instruments.
Little guitar and then keys my main instrument.
Got it. And you produce like everything on your own?
I can. I have a lot of friends I end up producing with as well, but I do. I have like a drum machine that I end up doing production on. I use
Got
Logic
it.
to create.
Got it. Got it. And did you learn that through like how did you learn to even get into production? Just like messing around on Logic?
Just mess around, try, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did produced until 2020. So it's been about 5 years now of
Okay.
sitting learning how to produce and like just YouTube was helpful, but then also just like hearing things and like listening to other songs and hearing what I liked about those and like trying to emulate and trying to
Right.
replicate, figure out my own sound through that, which I
Yeah.
feel like I'm still doing today. So it's a
Yeah.
never ending process of learning.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like endless. You could do so many things. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, was that a really frustrating process though? Like just learning to produce?
I, it could have been, I see it more as like just a part of a learning experience. Like I'm going to school and it's like I'm learning every day how to learn to sing better. I'm learning different techniques. Or if it's production, I'm learning different techniques through there. And I always feel like I'm just like getting better. Not trying to find. I'm not trying to be an end goal. Like I want to be the best producer ever
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
When it happens, instead of like, what can I do every day to be a better person at whatever I'm doing? So I've been trying to
Right.
shoot that at least.
That's cool. That's cool. So, do you have like a song that you produced or a song that you've put out either in the Jay Wile project or elsewhere that you're the most proud of from like a production standpoint?
Uh, I guess I would say on the most recent project on Soar in Mind, Who's Loving You. That one
Mm.
co-production with myself and then another awesome producer named Mason Abels. And the way that one came about, we went to his house and they had a jam session with the rest of his guys that were in a band at the time. And just to sit there for 25 minutes, never been with a band before, and like had all different instruments going along and playing in that setting at least. And we were just freestyling. I freestyled the whole melody for the song and just like figured it out. And then afterward, him and I got together and we sat down and like he fed the guitar part, he fed the keys, and everything just felt like it meshed so well. It's like be able to do something that efficiently was real nice. And that took two different sessions,
Yeah.
less than an hour both of them. It's like to see things happen so quickly and so organically. I love seeing those things happen.
Yeah.
But
That's really cool.
6 months slaving over it and trying to figure it out and getting the EQ just right.
Right.
Things snug. So I'll probably
Right.
say that would take one.
Nice, nice, nice. That's cool. So is your songwriting process like I know that recently you've been collaborating a little bit more, but your earlier stuff was pretty much just you, right?
Yeah.
So is the songwriting process now like you'll sit in a room with a friend and just start or a collaborator and just start working on things together, or do you like already have an idea that you bring to the table, or what like how's it work?
It really depends on songs and the
Hmm.
moments. Like first project that was just me in my apartment in school, just writing the songs. And I had friends I would share the music with and they would give me tips or give me their opinions, but it was mostly like
Yeah.
out on production and writing. And then after that project, it was a lot of me just searching for figuring out what worked best. Like I worked with a lot of different writers and a lot of different producers, and like things worked out, things didn't work. So now I feel, especially with this upcoming project, it was more of me saying, I want to do this, and then find the right people to help do that, and then let them still
Got
come in.
it.
They do best. Like if someone comes in and plays guitar, like I'm not trying to play guitar whenever this guy is legit at it and he can bring something new to the table that's going to add.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out how to add people in without subtracting myself.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, that's cool. And that's kind of the approach you're taking with the new, because you're writing a new EP right now, right?
Yeah, so that's basically how that one came about, or this most recent project. And then there's still songs where I had a friend, she sent over, she was one of the features on the song, on the project, and she sent over the beat was already done and her verse and the hook was already written. So it was like, cool, we can work with this. Let's fix things. And like, I helped her edit some of the lyrics and we edited the hook a little bit together. And I wrote my verse and and I ended up taking all those parts and mixing it together. So I still got a chance to like arrange things how I wanted to. But it's
Yeah.
nice to have producers that I trust and writers that also trust, like, hey, they know what I'm looking for as well. So it's good to
Yeah.
balance both.
Got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is there a song that you're most excited to come out on this EP?
I think the one I sent you is definitely one real
Yeah,
bad.
so good.
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
I'm just hyped about the whole project, man. This has been my favorite piece of work I've done probably since Blue Patio, if not more than that one.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, and I was gonna thank you so much for that preview, man. Real Bad is it's so good. It's like it's it's fresh. It's an interesting sound. Like it's almost a little experimental, you
Yeah.
know, like which is really cool. Like just the approach. So yeah, I'm excited to hear the rest of it. Is that kind of how like you approached it?
That one, my friends, they did another song of the Somewhere in Mind, Get It Back. He had sent me a folder of beats, and like I was sitting through them, and the first one was cool, the second one was like real cool. I love stopping that one, I just clicked it. This next one, it was this song, and it was pretty much the production as it is. I was like, this feels like I'm like on the water, like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not like, oh, this is legit.
Yeah.
That one again kind of just wrote itself. It was just like so timely with everything. The quarantine had just started here in Texas, and just
Yeah.
locked in my house, and like I just finished writing a whole album worth of music. We were just about done with that. So see everything come to a halt was just so devastating. So it was like
Mhm.
start something fresh because like that was one of
Yeah.
the songs that came about was during that time.
Yeah, so good, so fresh. Is it pretty difficult to write this EP or like finish it in the pandemic?
I feel like it was easy at first getting all of the production together because like every day I was sitting down just producing 3 tracks a day, and it was like just trying different things and learning different things. And I sat back and looked. I had 20 different ideas, and my friend sent me a couple of beats along the way, and I was like, let me carve this down and start writing.
Got
So
it.
the writing production is so easy. And then even mixing it wasn't too terrible. It was like getting it all packaged and figuring out, okay, what does the visuals look like? What does the album cover look like?
Right.
I'm not really around people that I was going to work with. Like, it's
Right, right.
just to set them up. So it's like to force myself to sit down and figure out what I wanted to do and like, and just manifest it was the hard part. But I enjoyed
Got it.
that too. It's like that was just worth it in the end.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, and lyrically with the EP or just like how you write, it's all. I mean, it feels just very honest. It feels almost like stream of consciousness, just like type of writing. How do those lyrics come out? Do you like sit down with something in mind, or do you just start writing and things come out?
Again, it's kind of wherever it lands. Sometimes
Yeah,
real bad. That was me freestyling over the beat at first,
nice.
and the freestyle version is like 4.5 minutes long of me just saying a whole bunch of shit, and then I had to go back
Yeah,
and like figure out, okay, what am I trying to say in this, and go back and editing lyrics and making it make more sense and adding
got it.
on, help bring the point home. Or if like there's a hook, find out what the hook was and like really establish it and make it better. So there's time to do that, and there's other ones where it's like I have something on my mind that I want to talk about. Like there's a couple songs I've been writing lately. It's like I knew what I wanted to talk about. It's like how do I get that out? So maybe the melody is freestyle, but the intention is already established. So either way, mostly it comes out one of those two ways as lately.
Got it. Nice. Yeah, I was gonna ask about. I mean, so like the new track Walzem.
Mm-hmm.
You donated the proceeds to Justin Howell, who was shot by Austin PD.
Cool.
And just with the current state of the country, like how, just the presidential campaign is happening, the coronavirus pandemic, the Black Lives Matter movement. It's such a interesting time of like change and growth and just in the country. So being present through all this, do any of those themes kind of find their way into the lyrics that you're writing or into the music?
Uh, so this was all written before all these things happened, and not necessarily the presidential campaign, which so it didn't necessarily touch on those topics exactly, but I feel me like you're saying it's like extremely conscious. I feel like the words and lyrics I'm talking about are authentic and real to me in this point. And being
Right.
a 26-year-old black man in this world, like that is a statement of protest in itself. Being able to express those things and like talk about vulnerabilities or talk about the different things that are going on in my life. It's like that's a part of the black experience as well. It's like be able to
Yeah.
be a part of the conversation in that form while still like being checked in on what's happening in the real world and what's happening with the protest and with the election coming up soon. It's just like to have those two worlds being one, I feel is important for me to do in this point.
Yeah.
And be present online and seeing what's happening in real life, while also being as real as I can with the music and letting those two worlds exist together.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Has it been kind of have you felt pretty creative through all of this? Like, I love seeing a lot of, not a lot of like I don't know. I don't know the best way to describe it, but kind of like the energy of like a Rage Against the Machine or like Fever 333 or like, when there's tumultuous times happening, a lot of people get creative and write songs about that and about the injustices and about these things. Do you feel like as an artist that these times have made you more creative or like how?
I think with the combination of with COVID-19 and the unrest and protesting happening, it has given a new energy of like, if anything, if it's not the not it's not necessarily rage or it's the anger that comes out. It's the just I'm so inspired about what everyone else is doing and what people are doing out in the world. It's like I want to be my best version of myself during this moment too. It's like this is such
Yeah,
a
yeah,
moment right now. And it's like to be a part musically as well and to say this is the music that we listen to during this time as well. And even if it's not the ones people going out there while they're listening, what they listen to while they're out, but maybe when they're trying to decompress and they're trying to de-stress themselves, they listen to the music and let that be a world for them as well. So
definitely.
where I can fit in all this, like this is such a intense moment, and it's been tough trying to
Yeah,
out. And I was worried about releasing during this time and
yeah, yeah,
put everything out last month as well. So it's like to push everything back a little bit to give room to figure out what I wanted to do and how I want to present things
yeah.
in a way that was appropriate.
For sure. Yeah, no, man, I think musicians play such a critical role right now, and just like the like music is such a good time stamp for like, you know, for the periods of times that people go through, and just the day-to-day lives. So it's so cool to see that the music that's coming out of this, and like you said, like some very direct and very you know, about a certain thing, or more indirect, still about everything, and still about how people are feeling.
Right.
But yeah, it's just music plays such a powerful role. So that's really cool that you're feeling good.
Like I think like the Anderson .Paak song, the Lockdown, and
Yeah,
the powerful song. They brought tears to my eyes watching the music videos.
yeah,
That is a protest, a form of protest, and the way he went about it was just so powerful and like
yeah,
kid and like I don't know, it was just to see the different ways people are going about it. I'm really just happy to see a lot of, especially Black artists, speaking up and like what the little baby doing his song he did. And it's like
right.
worlds of how we all come about the music. It's all the same energy in the end.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, I love it. So speaking of just some of these other artists, do you have, and now that you're like collaborating a little bit more with people, do you have like certain artists that you'd really want to collaborate with? Of
Yeah,
course, there's like the high tiers of.
I had to say like some top level artists just like shooting for the moon. Like would love to work with someone like Miguel or
Yeah,
like Janelle Monáe. I feel like they're just a multi-talented artist that can just do whatever. So those two, and then to be bringing down more of people that are in my world or that are not in my world still, but someone like Umi. I'm a really big fan of her.
yeah,
Uh, festival I did before everything shut down last year. And like, she's just so sweet, and her music is just like it resonates. So her the artist.
yeah,
I'm just big fans of people, so it's more of just like I want
yeah.
to. Um,
I hear you.
yeah, so there's just a couple right there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, speaking of that, like Miguel, you played a festival with him, right? That he headlined. Dang, how was that experience?
And it was intense. I was the first one for the show. They had two different stages, and I was the opening act for my stage. And just to get out there and we had set everything up because we were about to do sound check, which we didn't even get to do before we played, which was intense, and that was insane. But watching
Yeah,
as they opened the gates, and he
yeah,
came right to my gate because there was a show going on at the other one. And at first, to see 80 people there, I'm kind of used to that, and we're performing, and I'm kind of nervous, but the music's loud, and I can hear it, and it sounds good. So by the end of it, there had been 400 plus people, if not
nice.
out it in the stands, and like to look up 3 songs in and see the place full, it's just like, oh shit.
Damn. Yeah.
There was one girl that was like way in the back, and she was jamming, she was having a good time. After the song, I was like, hey, I see you out there. Like, no, you like. I appreciate you jamming me. And so this one's for you. It was when the song came on, I could hear her just
Yeah.
yelling. So
Oh man.
that experience that was the first time I ever done a festival and the first time I ever gotten on stage like that in front of people that didn't know or didn't know me at all. So it was good.
Right. Ah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool because I mean I'm sure you're a fan of music, I imagine. So like when you would probably go to shows and watch artists like that, and then to like flip the flip the roles, it's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah. And then the rest of the day, like, I mean, there was a lot of times where I got people came up to me and they said they enjoyed music or whatever. But the rest of the day was me just going to different people's shows and like watching, like to see Miguel. We were so close to the
That's
front,
dope.
show, and like I was even on the side stage and Russell's performance, and to see those different other artists get up there and do what they're doing, it's like cool. Like I was on the
Yeah.
stage as you, like we had the same wristbands on, like
Yeah, yeah.
even the artist tent, just kind of looking around, see who's who.
Yeah. Oh man.
Back ways, but yeah,
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm the first of many, I'm sure. Which is a bummer because you were supposed to be a South by like official artist this year, right?
that was my first one, first out.
Man, that's such a bummer. That's so crazy just how everything shut. And it was like right when, because it was like a week before, right? Like it was like maybe it's gonna happen, maybe it's not.
And then we were talking about, we were kind of concerned, is like, oh, it's not here yet, but bringing a big festival, I feel like that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Or like we have so much more knowledge about the virus now, like having
Right.
is definitely a big no-no. But like we're still like, I think we can do it.
Right. Yeah.
And looking at everything, it's like I'm glad that it ended being canceled. Like
Yeah.
as much as I wanted to perform and let that be my first one, I know as much as Austin as the city needed South by as well. Like we saved so many lives by not doing that.
Yeah. For sure. For
Biggest thing
sure.
I understand, even though it's like really bummed out, you know.
Yeah. Oh man. Hopefully it'll be back next year. It'll be. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But no, it was funny. I remember like, cause everything kind of shut down in LA around that same time, like mid March, and I throw shows around LA, and I had a show in like mid April.
Mhm.
And I remember thinking in the beginning, and just at work, like I've been working from home, and it's just been like, oh, like yeah, we'll be back in a couple weeks. Like, oh, I'm sure my show will be fine in April. Like we're just shutting down for a couple weeks, whatever. And it's like we had no idea that this was going until like 2021. You know, it's
Yeah.
such a trip.
So they were like tending like we're gonna hold on, and then
Right?
another week passed, like more cases popped up.
Yeah, it's
So
done.
like we can't even like guarantee it. So
Yeah, it's so crazy. But it's cool that you've been staying creative. So you dropped the Honest music video pretty
yeah,
recently, and that was interesting because that was one of your first songs you wrote, right?
yeah.
So
So that
why, yeah, why now did you want to put out the video?
yeah. So the director found she's LA based, or they're LA based, and they had the idea for the video a while back, like this time last year.
Oh, okay.
I was really excited about the idea for it, and they really wanted to do it. And I'm sitting there looking at all the new music I had that was about to be released that fall. I was like, well, why aren't we looking at one of these songs? And they were like, these are cool, but like I had a dream for this one that I really wanted to envision. Like I would love to be a part of it with you. So I ended up doing it. I ended up going to LA in November last year, and we ended up shooting it for over 2 or 3 days worth of shooting. And then just to see it all come out, like come together, and how it was edited, and all the downs and the ups that we had to get the video done, to see the final product is like I have to get this out, even if it doesn't play necessarily in the narrative of everything going on with music, whatever. But
Right.
for them to have that, and especially for fans that like found
Yeah.
songs, like to give them that video uh,
Right.
is special for me to share that moment, because they are the ones that end up giving me to where I'm at now, I guess.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You kind
Yeah.
of wanted to get it because it was good, and trying to give back, I guess.
Yeah. No, definitely it makes sense. It's a because it is a fan favorite, right? It's like one of your highest streamed songs. Yeah. How's that feel just looking at Spotify and seeing like millions of streams on your
I still hadn't really, I still haven't wrapped my head around it just yet. Like to see it still trending up, just like
Yeah.
music I was literally making out of my bedroom, like and mix out of my bedroom. I didn't go to a major studio or get like major producers yet that have been released, and it's like for people to enjoy things that I've done. It's like it feels different. It's like I'm just
Yeah.
being just trying to share me, so it's cool that people are interacting with it.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. So yeah, so you've been to LA. I was gonna talk about because it looks like you've been to a few different places, like Nashville, Toronto, New York, obviously Austin. What do you think for like a musician is the best musical city outside of Austin?
Uh, in my travels, I feel like they all had different peaks.
Yeah,
My time in Toronto with the producers I was working with were just so talented, and it was just like the music there was just so easy to make, and like over the setting was snow, and like I was in the B&B and it was just snowing all day long during the day, and went to the studio at night. So like to have that juxtaposition of lifestyle was
yeah,
versus like New York. It's like I've made actual friends there, and like people I work with when I go there now. It's like beyond just working together, like I'm cool just kicking it with them, just like hanging out. It's just like they all have their different perks.
Yeah.
And Nashville was so cool. It was just a whole different experience. And even though they were hip hop producers I was working with, they are in this country radio capital.
Right. Right.
A whole different influence and impact on their music when it comes to making hip hop. So it's cool seeing the
Right.
cultures. But
Yeah, I hear you.
I can't say I have a favorite. I think Toronto, if I had to pick one, just because
Ah.
the
I was hoping you were gonna say LA, but it's all good.
that go to LA and really experience that. I've only been there one time for a week, 4 days, and like it was quick. Like trying to do something in 4 days, it's like, and with the music video we were shooting as well, it's like there wasn't a lot of time. So I want to go back and everything's open
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Out there for a month and like
Right.
go and work and sit and make music. I feel like
Yeah.
that. So,
For sure. For sure.
so,
Yeah. Yeah. If you need any recommendations when you're out here, let me know. But I was going to ask real quick about I really like the flower artwork in the Bloom series, like in the singles were the different colors. Could you talk about that real quick? Like, did that have a meaning or?
yeah, so the designer for that thing is Jacob Justice. He's Indiana-based graphic designer. And I was going to Chicago for my acapella group from college. They were going to their national competition. And I was going to support them. So I was in Chicago and we ended up meeting up because it was a short trip for him. And we ended up shooting in this butterfly exhibit. It was a beautiful place. And like some of the photos we got there were just amazing. But we ended up shooting the hand for the picture just on a blank wall there. So it had like nothing to do where we were at. And I was just kind of confused. He was like, yeah, just do this. Just trust me with it. And so I trusted him and we went about our day. And like, we talked about making the cover art together, just we wanted to collab. And like, he met me over the internet. He was a fan of the work and I was a fan of what he was doing. I was like, you know what? Just do your thing on it. Like, I wasn't really trying to focus on the visuals at that point.
Yeah.
And started making these designs. I was like, oh, this is dope. And we added the flower and everything just kind of came together. So it was really his work and like his imagination that came to life. And then we decided to do the first color was for Help Myself, like the neon green type one. And after seeing that one, we had another song that was do another color grade. So that's how it just got started.
That's dope.
And then the final one was just nice to put a pin on that one and say that was
Yeah. Yeah, it was so good. It kind of reminded me like Banksy, almost like type of art. Is super cool.
Yeah.
The rose and everything. It was dope. I loved it. So I wanted to just in kind of like wrapping up. I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, but you've amassed just millions of streams. You had a song premiere on Beats One, the festival with Miguel. You were going to be a South by Southwest official artist. Yeah, you've done all these amazing things in the last couple of years. What's been like your favorite part of the journey if you had to pick like one thing?
If I had to pick one thing, it would be playing live and getting the live portion put together. I've been singing, like I mentioned, in an acapella group, and like I've been performing for a while, but to perform as Jay Wile with the music and watching people interact with it out in the stands, that's a way different experience I haven't seen before. Like, as much as I love making the music and I love all the parts going into the music, I think I missed the most of like going to shows and like seeing pull up. And like the last show I did was here in Austin, and like to see hundreds of people in the room and over half of them were just singing along to every single word. And like,
Dang.
there's a part where I stopped singing, I pull away from the mic and I can still hear them singing along. And like to see that kind of thing happen is special to me. And like that is probably my favorite part. It's just like seeing people really enjoy the music.
Yeah.
Or when people were buying merch at another show, and it's like the guy came and he put his sister on the phone on FaceTime. It's like she couldn't make it to the show and she wanted to get a piece of merch, but she wanted to say hi. And like to see that, it's like different. It's like this is more than just me and my own satisfaction, but like someone else benefiting from this.
Right. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, what is your live setup, by the way? Do you have like a band or?
Yeah, so I had a band, a bassist, guitarist, and a drummer, and then I had playing my keys, and I had my drum machines and trigger loops and all that.
Nice.
Going forward with everything, like I know the virtual shows I've been doing has just been me, of course, and just have my drum machine and keys. So I'm not sure what it's gonna look like as we transition out of this, but definitely I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to have other people on stage to like bring the energy too.
Yeah, I hear you. Was that your favorite show that you played, the one in Austin that you were just talking about?
It was that's tough because there's still Mall in the festival.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know if I can rank them. I think that one was probably the most memorable one, the most recent one, just because it was the last one. Like I didn't know
Yeah.
the show, but it was my best show I performed yet. So it's like I knew we were going up from there, and like to have South by on the cusp of happening, it's like I knew that was going to lead into more, and like to have the album that I was ready to perform those songs too. So it was like I think that was the perfect moment of playing and getting gelled with the band members as well as like getting my own grooves, being on stage as Jay.
Yeah, I hear you. You played in New York too, right? I think I saw pictures of like Bowery Ballroom or something.
Played the Bowery Ballroom was one of my first shows, and then I did one myself at Pianos
Nice.
down Lower East Side, and then I did one for Genius, and I performed on the rooftop.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Love it. Yeah, no, I feel like that's what it's been kind of a common theme with everyone I'm talking to, that's like one of the things they miss most right now is just getting in front of people playing live. But hopefully, yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully it'll come back soon. Have you
Yeah.
played in LA yet, or were you just here for just the video?
I played a real quick set, and it was just kind of off just because I was there. It was at through Bands in Town. They had a booth at it was like a music conference, I guess. It was at Capitol, and so they had a page that I performed at, and I did a few songs, 3 or 4 songs. It was just me and vocals with live with the instrumental tracks. So it didn't feel like a full show, and it wasn't able to like press or public wasn't able to come. You had to have your badge. So like I want to do a proper LA show that people go up to like all ages and do a full show.
Yeah, the tour is gonna be cool. The Jay Wile tour is gonna be sweet. 2021.
2021, we late 2021. We get things together. If this is gonna go out, let's make sure everyone's wearing a mask. I know
Right.
we're just now enforcing to wear masks. I'm so glad. I went to the store and everyone was wearing one finally. I was like,
yeah, thank you. Good. So the last thing I wanted to ask is there like one through line or one message or something that you want Jay Wile to kind of stand for or represent like as an artist?
oh, that's a good question. I think love, and I don't know it's just one word, but just the this project is specifically this new one. Like I talk a lot about how to love oneself while also trying to love others, either whether it's platonically or if it is in relationships, or if it's like family members, like just processing how to love one of those right now. I feel like we do need that. I feel like a lot of times that is the dividing factor. I think whether it's for yourself and just taking care of yourself and like self-care and like uh, yeah, I think love is the theme of where I want to present.
That's great. Yeah. So, I mean, it's the most powerful thing, right? Yeah. I mean, I just love everything you do, man. It's so cool to get to talk to you about it. The song you sent is so good. I can't wait to hear the rest of the EP. And then, do you have already like a album after that, or are you working towards new stuff, or are you just focusing on this EP?
As far as front facing, be focused on the EP and have a lot of visuals for it, and to have some videos I'm doing with some friends virtually that we're getting cooked up right now. So like,
Cool.
My attention for the next couple weeks and couple months. But like I do have an album that I had finished before all this that happened, so I'm gonna go back and finish that and like touch on it and make sure it looks good. That way, whether it's end of this year or top next year, we'll have something ready to go. Especially for back. So
right, yeah,
music coming. I'm not gonna stop at this point. So
amazing, I love it. Great, yeah. I'll link all your socials in the description of the video. But is there anything else you wanted to mention or shout outs or anything?
No, just I'm excited for the product. I'm excited for people to hear the music and especially Real Bad, seeing what comes out. I'm not sure when this is going to come out, but this will be on the 15th. So I think it comes out the day.
Great. Yeah, this will be out on the 14th. So yes.
Very first thing, and then the EP is coming shortly after. So just excited for y'all to hear everything that's going to be coming.
Amazing. Sweet. Well, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining. Of course. Yeah. And again, I'll link all the socials, so follow Jay. on everything in the description of the video, and look out for the new single out tomorrow and the EP very soon. Jay Wile, thank you so much, man.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
All right, see ya.